Hi, Mobydick golf swing, and we believe ultimately we have to get to the impact position. Some people, they are big on P6. Um, the Mobydick golf swing. Yes, P6 is important. Every part is pretty important. We consider P7 is ultimate, and then this is address P1 and P7 is right here, and then basically handle forward and creating that line of compression position, and then this is done by obviously from P6 to pivot, and then you continue to we call it drag, as if like a drag the wet mop pretty much from P6, 6.5. You continue to pivot while thrusting your fourth arm and creating that angle, shaft leading forward, and we call that line of compression. And then you sustain it instead of releasing it. You create the wet mouth, continue to drag through the floor, and have that feel of line of compression to about 7.5, P7.5, and P8, P9, and P10. Now, in order to have P10, P7 correctly, Mobydick golf swing believes from P4 to P5 is most important part of the golf swing, because I said that it's contradiction. There's a P7, but in order to get to the P7, we believe P4 and P5 is the most important position. So we are talking about that particular position a lot, basically. How to get to certain position. In other words, from P4 to P5, if you lose your angle, we mainly observe left arm and the club shaft relationship, mainly the angle. If you create this angle less than a 90-degree angle, rather than 90, 110, 120, most amateur, they start to release the club at the top. Obviously, casting, all other issues happens. Anyway, so from here to P5, when left arm is parallel to the ground, you are creating the less of the angle. If you do this, we believe that for you to keep that angle at P6 and then have the line of compression P7 is much easier. That's why we are focusing on that. Now, the reason why this line of compression is important is this. When you have, let's say, tennis racket, very quickly, this is another way of explaining it, but no one has explained this way before. So in order to hit solid tennis or racquetball or table tennis, you have to hit the ball in the middle. Out of edge, frame, hitting the frame will not do you any good. Right in the middle. Now, when it comes to golf club, you consider that as a face of tennis racket or racquetball or table tennis. Right in the middle of the section or slightly below is the sweet spot. The problem is when you address the ball does not contact middle to slight below. It doesn't touch there. It actually touches, if you're lucky, is a group number 1, or the leading edge is actually touching it. Therefore, if you arrive it as it is, you will never be able to hit the ball on the sweet spot. Or I would say you will never have a chance to hit the ball in the sweet spot. Now, in order for you to hit the ball in the sweet spot is when you're leaning forward, handle forward while drive by the pivot and thrust by the thrust, now ball is touching second, third, fourth, and then continue to go descending blow, and then hits the ball in the sweet spot. That is why this line of compression, you create in this position, that gives you 100% chance that you hit the ball in the sweet spot. Okay, that is why the line of compression or compressing the ball is that important in order for golfer to hit the ball in the sweet spot. Now, once again, Mobydick golf swing, how to get to that P7 correctly. There are many different ways. Once again, we believe from P4 to P5, creating a less angle here will get you better chance to get you to P7. That's the whole thing.